6-seeded Towson Tigers and the 7-seeded Monmouth Hawks. Take a look at the starting lineups. Monmouth had 4 in double figures in their semifinal win over Northeastern. And then look out for Kylie Cornegay-Lucas, the redshirt junior for Towson. As we are ready to go for tip-off here, Towson in the white, Monmouth in the navy. What are you watching for in this title game?
Well, one of the big things, this Monmouth team, they are such sharp shooters. And early on, they're going to have to establish their three-point shooting.
They do, with Tinsley knocking down the 3. Monmouth came into this game, folks, having hit 45 threes in the last 5 games.
And the thing is, they have so many different players that can knock down those big outside shots. They have shot the ball so confidently throughout this tournament. That's the big reason they're here and that they've taken down teams like Northeastern and Drexel.
2 of the top 3 seeds now trying to take down the top seed as they get a stop on Towson's opening possession.
And you saw there were 2 blue jerseys around that defensive rebounding key today, John.
There's Vanderhoop, Ariana Vanderhoop, a sophomore. And this goes back to what the head coach of the Hawks in her second year, Ginny Bogus, has brought up. Monica, it's that balance is the theme for the Hawks.
It is, and these players understand that if the shots aren't falling, they can do other things out on the court. Ariana Vanderhoop is a great example of that because she contributes everywhere on the floor. Meanwhile, Towson, early on, not finding their shots.
And what a start for the Hawks. Vanderhoop with a triple. Timeout, Towson. The Cinderella of the CAA has a slipper.
So hot right now. We've talked about the shooting there, 2 of 2 from behind the three-point line. Yesterday, they knocked down 10 three-pointers. 5 different players on the roster had at least 1 3-ball. Quinn Fulmore, she's a player they need to get going for the Tigers.
Great defense and a shutdown by Cramble.
That is the top shot blocker in the CAA. The big reason why Belle Cramble is on the all-defensive team. Her timing is so good. One of the battles to watch is that one.
Backdoor, and what a start for Ariana Vanderhoop. 7 of the first 10.
Ariana Vanderhoop is asserting herself all over the floor this afternoon. 7 points so far. And I really like the fact that she's getting her shot in lots of different ways.
Now a drive, floater, that falls through for Sky Williams, the graduate student.
Sky Williams has had such a good tournament so far, and what she does so well, she adds that balance with Cornegay.
The Hawks shooting strong all throughout this tournament. And there's Marsicano.
Like we talked about, it's not just one player that can knock down these big shots. And Marsicano has been having quite a tournament. That was a very quick shot for Cornegay-Lucas. Rushed it just a little bit.
Now another drive. That one does not fall. Offensive rebound, the putback. The Hawks are firing on all cylinders. There's Lucy Thomas.
This has been the point of emphasis for Monmouth, is the rebounding and getting that offensive rebound.
A stunning start to the final. 3 switches home. It's Alexia Nelson.
And I have to tell you, Lex Nelson isn't necessarily known as much for her offense, but that was a much-needed basket.
That 3 altered. Morrow couldn't connect. Hawks all over the glass. Doesn't fall, and the Tigers scramble for it.
And Towson lucky that that's an empty possession for Monmouth because you cannot allow the Hawks to get 2 offensive rebounds. Towson is going to have to solve the problem on the boards if they want to get back into this contest early on.
It's hard to believe, Monica, because Towson's been one of the best rebounding teams in this league as Cornegay-Lucas. Heather Williams is fouled on the drive.
Monmouth that is dominating. And more Fulmore. That's Quinn Fulmore for Towson. They really need her presence in the low post. She's been much more of a second half player in this tournament. They need her stepping up in the first half. But obviously it's very different to play in the CAA. This is a very physical league. So much good talent. What a great move by Bree Tinsley. I like what we're seeing out of Tinsley too, because yesterday she struggled early on with her outside shooting. So she did a nice job driving. And Laura Harper, first season at Towson, the only head coach in history to get 20 or more wins in her first season. And when you look at her background and her history, it is no surprise, because let me tell you, Laura Harper is just a winner.
Laura Harper was a sophomore at Maryland. Led the Terrapins to the 2006 National Championship. NCAA Final Four Most Outstanding Player. Combining for 40 points in a pair of wins over North Carolina and Duke. She is a legend in the DMV area.
I have to tell you, Towson was so happy to get her with what she brings to this program. The way that she coaches this team. And look at Cramble.
Oh, what a play by Tinsley. Racing by everybody for the bucket.
They have, and she's real with them. She tells them the absolute truth. She is so honest with them, but she does it in a way that it really makes them respond.
That's a catch and shoot three.
It was Pat Enumba that stepped up. She knocked down the big shots, was huge in the second half comeback.
But Ariana Vanderhoop.
Again, the way she's responded, had trouble finding her shot yesterday, but she's been looking for it all game.
Nice give downstairs. That shot altered, though, by Pirelli. She's altered a pair of them. On the second chance, it goes. Cornegay Lucas's first points of the day. Here's Hall with 5. Vanderhoop flying for it. Now 3 and a heave from distance. It's a shot clock violation.
A perfect 5 of 5 from the floor. 11 points for Ariana Vanderhoop.
Look, she's a winner. Ariana won 2 state titles at Cathedral High School in Massachusetts. Tough drive to the bucket.
You can be very methodical and play good defense.
Vanderhoop with a great move, and she will go in the line for a pair. Join us over Final Four weekend as we highlight this year's winners, right here on CBS Sports Network.
A rare miss for Vanderhoop. But right now, she is in the post.
With 3. With 1, that one falls just short for Enumba. Now 3 seconds here for the Hawks. Vanderhoop, who's had the big quarter, heaving it, and just short for Vanderhoop. A dozen, though, for number 1.
During media timeout, she would say something quickly. Her team would head right back out on the floor, ready to play. She never looked upset when things weren't going their way. It was just such a disciplined, methodical approach. That flows down to these players. They really, really buy in. Everything that she says.
Vanderhoop cannot miss.
She is averaging 14 points in 9 minutes. That is just tremendous point production. Great offensive efficiency. She's only missed 1 shot.
There's Fulmore.
We've been calling for it to go inside, to take advantage and get Quinzia Fulmore involved in this contest. She is a great post presence. And you take a look there at the scoring. It has been a lot of Vanderhoop. Tinsley as well.
Finding Cramble for her first points, and that's been the formula, Monica, because they can turn it into shots like that. Cornegay Lucas.
She's so savvy. She was patient. She bided her time.
Tinsley dashing to the rim. Bree Tinsley with 7.
Ice water in her veins. The shot clock was winding down.
She said, we never gave up. That one falls and 1.
That's what you do. That's how you break down a defense and get a high percentage shot.
Johnson completes the 3-point play. Here's Coach Bogus in her second season. Did a great job under Carolyn Keeger at Marquette and Penn State. One of the top assistants in the country. Now as a head coach getting her shot. Towson making a run at it now.
You really have to credit the Tigers. They've shown a lot of resilience here, and that's all top down. It starts with Laura Harper and the tone that she sets, but it really helps to have a player like Kylie Cornegay Lucas who can handle the ball and create.
7 on the shot clock. Floater goes. That's a tough shot for Nelson.
That is such a tough shot. She has been clutch all game long. I think she's been the X factor.
Oh, and now a steal. Rivera. And 1. The Tigers have arrived to this championship tilt.
She is such an emotional player. Take a look at the bench. Fulmore could not be more excited. Anissa Rivera reading the passing lane very well. What a finish. And she is an emotional player. She can really get this team going. Take a look at this reaction after the play, and the bench loves it. Rivera just stepping up, that big assist, and then the and one.
Yesterday, Rivera didn't score, had 2 turnovers in 7 minutes. But you just don't know what a championship game can bring out of somebody. And this Towson team, Monica, which was down 15-2, not even 5 minutes into the game, is within 1.
I think if you're the Towson faithful, you don't necessarily like the heart attack moments in the first quarter. They're getting used to it in this tournament, but what they can trust in is their team will respond.
Here's the thing. The response comes quicker so that the heart attack doesn't have to progress.
But the Towson fans are loving it right now. They always turn out to support their sports teams.
Arsacano, a big answer.
A player that has made the most of her march.
8 on the shot clock. Kylie Cornegay-Lucas hands it off. Williams with a spin. That was pretty.
You can see Towson's just starting to get into an offensive rhythm. It took them a little bit of time to lock in. They were lucky that they had players like Alexia Nelson who kept them in it, and now everybody is starting to get going.
Deep 3. That came from Jersey. Thomas from way downtown.
Monmouth will trade you 2s for 3s.
There's Williams. Sky Williams laying it in. Such a fun day on the sports calendar. Happy Selection Sunday to all of you. John Fanta, Monica Moore, Carly Smith. Towson last went dancing 2019. Their lone appearance under Diane Richardson in the big dance. Monmouth in 1983. And the Hawks keep on rebounding the basketball.
It's been the offensive rebounds, and Lucy Thomas, she's so gritty under the basket. Look at Sky Williams, just had to go with a bit of a circus shot there, but she is so athletic.
Another offensive rebound for the Hawks. That bunny doesn't fall. And out of bounds call. It's Monmouth ball. We told you rebounding would be the determining factor in this game. That's what the coaches told us. Monmouth up 17-8 on the glass.
And look at Hall posting up. Sky Williams, she's been a massive spark in this tournament.
Tinsley with a fading pass to Thomas. Lauro, she's just on. Another offensive rebound, though, for the Hawks, and they'll go to the free throw line. It'll be Hall. Jania, a major in business, marketing, and management at Monmouth University. How about this? She's going up to school in New Jersey, but she calls Gaithersburg, Maryland home to some family here for a title game.
Absolutely. It's always fun to return close to where you grew up. I'm really happy to see her having the tournament she's having, because she's been one of those players that struggled with injuries, was out with concussion protocols, but has really come back and been an impact player.
Towson 5 for its last 7.
They have just settled into this game. They've been playing like a different team, have looked very confident on the offensive end.
Cornegay-Lucas short this time, and the Hawks just continue to box out.
There were 4 blue jerseys around the basketball. Again, it was a massive point of emphasis by Jenny Bogus and her staff, and this team has bought in. They take so much pride.
So Towson's leading scorer this first half has to sit down with 2 and change to go in the opening stanza.
And that's a tough break for Towson. They do not want for foul trouble to become an issue. Cornegay-Lucas is a player that's also struggled, even being Defensive Player of the Year with foul trouble.
Oh, Ariana Vanderhoop. And now up by 8 on the top seed. Transition opportunity. The Tigers catch in. A Selection Sunday final. So cool in the CAA to have it here. Tinsley is fouled.
Wow.
Bree Tinsley on her final stop in college basketball. Started at Virginia. Transfers to James Madison. At both stops, averaged around 5 points per game. So she says, you know what, I need to find that home where I could make the big difference and maybe go dancing. She's found that at Monmouth.
She really has. And what I love about her is defenses key in on her. They really pressure her.
A turnover by the Tigers. There's Thomas to pick it up. It's the 5th by the Tigers.
Monmouth gets up the floor. They are really pressuring, pushing this tempo. I thought that was a really good drive by Nelson, who has really been one of the top players for Towson, but deflating that they turned the ball over.
Tinsley with 5 on the timer. Tinsley hit that from the Jersey Shore. Oh my!
It's been that kind of day for Monmouth. Did not think that shot was going to fall. Somehow it does.
Cornegay Lucas with the left hand. The Monmouth Hawks are 20 minutes away from becoming the first 7th seed to win the CAA Tournament. Selection show again this evening, 6 Eastern, CBS. There's no night like this one. Women's selection show tonight as well. Turnaround doesn't fall for Fulmore. Your keys to the final 20 minutes.
Well, we talked about Quinzia Fulmore. She has been a second-half player this whole tournament. They desperately need her to step up, come up with some big buckets in the post.
Tinsley, stop and go. She's got 14.
She's been tremendous. The dynamic duo of Ariana Vanderhoop and Bree Tinsley today, both of those players in double digits in the first half. Both of them looking for their shots every single possession.
That's a tough bucket for Nelson.
That's steady Lex right there.
With the dish, Cramble the finish.
And it all started with the box out.
The Hawks on a 20-9 surge to take control back in this game.
And right now, Towson just looks out of control on the past 2 possessions. They've almost lost it, but Cornegay Lucas makes something happen.
Ginny Bogus and Monmouth trying to go to the tournament for the first time since 1983. That was their first season as an NCAA Division I program.
Pat Enumba is doing all the little things on the floor right now, diving for balls, getting rebounds, making smart plays. Even when she's not scoring, she's contributing. I think she's been a big factor, but right now Towson has to find some offense.
Cornegay Lucas hooks it downstairs and a foul.
And John, the offensive woes are continuing a bit for Towson in this second half. Right now, struggling, shooting 2 of 7 from the floor, 28.6%. Luckily, Monmouth has only scored 4 points as well. Kylie Cornegay Lucas hasn't had her big offensive day yet. I think she's going to try to really assert herself. She has 7 points, 3 of 10 from the floor, 3 rebounds for Cornegay Lucas.
1 for 2 at the line for Jania Johnson. For Towson, they're playing their 3rd game in as many days. For Monmouth, they're playing their 4th game in as many days if we get a whistle and a foul.
Lucy Thomas did such a good job there getting the post position, battling with Jania Johnson. She's so smart. That's the experience of Lucy Thomas, the graduate student that you're seeing on the floor.
Now a foul. It's on Marsicano, an offensive foul away from the ball.
And we talked, that was one of our keys to the game, particularly for Monmouth, who turned the ball over so much. The first time these 2 teams played, it's been a really scrappy effort, but that has been a bright spot for the Tigers.
Now on the attack. That's the kind of day it's been for the Tigers, just off on the runner.
But I like what Alexia Nelson is doing, just putting the ball on the floor.
And there's Cornegay Lucas. She was the one who got them going yesterday on the comeback.
And I think it's going to have to be her today because she's their most consistent offensive option. Surprised there wasn't a whistle there. I think everyone was surprised, waiting for it. The official will send Lucy Thomas to the free throw line is the answer.
Monmouth has not recorded a field goal in 4 minutes. Cornegay Lucas shut down by Cramble.
Again, the leader in the league in blocks, and look at Enumba. But right now, Monmouth just has to find the answer.
Shooting us a note saying, we just got to keep defending. Everything else will work itself out. That's how they beat William and Mary yesterday, coming back from 13 down. With 9 on the timer, they turn it over. They're 6th.
And right now, they don't have Cornegay Lucas on the floor, so they're going to have some of those other players step up.
There's a triple. Marsicano with her 3rd.
What a great storyline. She has been, things have cooled off a bit for Monmouth. Those are shots they usually convert on.
And 1, Enumba. Pat Enumba had 15 against William and Mary yesterday. In fact, she has scored 15 or more in 3 of her last 4 games coming into today. A pair of 20-plus point performances against Stony Brook and Elon to close out the regular season. But she cannot cash in on the third.
And you have to go back to the quarterfinals and remember how much Towson struggled from the free throw line in that contest. We worried if it would come back to haunt them, but a big defensive stop.
Tigers with a 4-on-2. Anumba to the hoop. Offensive rebound. A vicious board. It just falls out. The Tigers have not gotten a friendly rim.
And Casey Donovan really showing some emotion on the floor after she got that rebound.
Vanderhoop with 12. She's fouled.
But you knew she was the player. They wanted the ball in her hands, did a good job drawing the contact. But the free throws, every opportunity matters. Coaches talk about it all the time. 2 of 4 now for Monmouth in this quarter. Vanderhoop makes it 3 of 5. Fulmore and Cramble just battling. Wow.
Deflection by Cramble.
Cramble is just so active, and again, her timing, she does a good job staying out of foul trouble, and now a travel call and a turnover from Towson.
Let's send it back over to Carly Smith.
Hey guys, at the half, I got to talk to Jeff Stapleton, Monmouth's director of athletics, and I asked, did you know Coach Ginny Bogus was a home run hire? And he said, yeah. He said, we think the world of Ginny. He said, she came in when this program was broken, and she has rebuilt the culture and restored the love of the game back in these players. He said, if you just watch the team, they play with so much joy, they laugh, they're having fun, even in tight games like this one. And he closed with, she's a winner, guys.
Yes, she is. Hall, tough drive and a bucket.
Just muscling it up. And again, this is Jania Hall, who has really grown so much over the course of this season. And Carly, to your point, home run coaching hire certainly describes it when you're talking about Jenny Bogus, and you need no other evidence than to see what this team has done in this tournament.
Largest lead for Monmouth. Towson in need of an answer. Tough teardrop doesn't go. Offensive rebound, putback doesn't go. The Hawks are 10 minutes from a title. Jenny Bogus in year 2 at the helm. Hall has had a big day. Turning and hitting.
And you have to really love it when a player who it took her a while to adjust to being in this league, but she's worked hard, she's stuck with it, and this tournament has been a time to shine for Hall.
Anumba to the bucket. She's got 9.
Anumba, the way she has been coming on so strong, it's really been a lot of Anumba.
Hall. Oh, my.
In the low post, making it look easy. I assure you it wasn't.
Quinn Fulmore was blocked.
And the way that she does this without committing the foul, she has mastered this and made blocking shots an art.
Towson got within 1 in the second quarter. They needed that. Cornegay Lucas. Towson got within 1. Monmouth outscored the Tigers 32-21. Jania Hall floating it up, and she's fouled.
I thought that shot might fall for Monmouth, but the shot that did fall was this monster bucket by Kylie Cornegay Lucas. But they're going to need a lot more of that as they're trying to get back into this game. And Hall, what a game she is having, particularly in the second half. Really tuned in, you know that she has been so special in this tournament. Tigers get it to her in the corner. That's Johnston.
Entered inside, left-hand finish for Fulmore, trying to become just the first team in CAA history to win 4 games in 4 days. To win the conference tournament.
Helps to have the depth that Monmouth has. And Jania Hall, she is just asserting herself for the Tigers.
And her late season surge has been rather impressive. At 11 for the Hawks against Drexel. The 6th place team had 11 league victories. It was really a year of parity in this conference. Monmouth as a 7th-place team looking to shock everybody, and they're doing it. But they picked the perfect time to have all hands on deck. Anungba scores it. Laura Harper instantly says, got to keep the pressure on. 5 on the shot clock. Cramble attacking and a blocking foul. That puts Towson in the penalty.
Monmouth does not just rely on 1 or 2 players. They have Tinsley. They have Donovan, who's been very quiet today. She was very loud yesterday in the second half. They have so many different players, including Cramble, who step up at the right time.
And
togetherness. Yeah. Arms around each other, but you see it right there. That's the call that was upvoted.
Monica, that is a vicious elbow. That is absolutely intentional.
And now Monmouth with all the momentum.
With Towson not having much hope rather, left in this game. That is a tough blow inside 4 minutes to go.
This is interesting. If you look at the Monmouth players at the half-court line, they've all got their arms around each other. And now Monmouth with all the momentum. And that was quite a tough hit that Marzicano having to fight through.
And that's a frustration move.
It really is, because for Towson, they're the favorites. They're the #1 seed. They've battled through adversity today, have just not been able to come back from the big lead that Monmouth built up at halftime.
It's surprising to see Fulmore still in the game after that, as Nelson airballs the 3. And at this point, the Monmouth Hawks have come into CQ Arena against the top seed. A foul here on the inbounds.
Great defense by Sky Williams.
This might have been the last scenario. I mean, we all thought that Monmouth could certainly win, but Monica, 4th game in as many days. You're talking about they've already played the 2 and the 3 seeds in this tournament. This is some kind of a run by Monmouth.
I have to tell you, though, I want to know what Jenny Boggess says to her team before the games start, because the way Monmouth has started the games in this tournament, they have been on point from the opening jump. Whatever her secret is, we all want to know it, because her team has come out every single game and been ready to go. They have shown that they believe in themselves, and they've made everyone else believe in the Monmouth Hawks.
The exclamation point by the do-it-all Cramble, who has made it happen this week for the Hawks. That one spins out for Williams.
Sky Williams, though, I have to give her so much credit. She is still battling so hard. She is a warrior. Mara Hendrickson, one of the best facilitators and distributors. They knocked them off. Then you play a Northeastern team on a 9-game winning streak that has all the momentum. This is what champions are made of.
When you knock out Keishana Washington, who has been one of the nation's top scorers, she's as great of a bucket getter as anybody in this league. That's when the belief ramps up to another level.
Well, that's exactly right. Has 3 40-point games, does Keishana Washington. She's a playmaker. But Monmouth, they have just believed in themselves. They have bought in. And another thing that Jenny Boggess was telling us about is at one point yesterday, Casey Donovan comes in the game and she yells, "Be the hero." That's a good mantra for this Monmouth team. They have had a lot of players willing to be the hero this week.
Look at Cramble go! And one! The Hawks can taste it!
That's what heroes are made of. Right there, Belle Cramble. She fights so hard for her buckets. She works extremely hard. What a great drive. Belle Cramble. She's known for her defense, but she can score the basketball.
Belle Cramble in double figures. And the Monmouth Hawks with 6 players totaling 9 or more points. They are putting it on Towson this afternoon in their first year in the CAA. The Hawks, as the 7th seed, have shown they are a force to be reckoned with.
It is a 16-2 Monmouth run. Again, I want to know what Jenny Boggess is telling this team. There has been no drop-off. There has been no letdown. They have been all-out awesome all week long.
They have wore down the Tigers. And you can sense from the body language here.
And frankly, I have to give so much credit right now to Jenny Boggess and her staff, because every time you ask her, what are the keys to the game? What did you do well? She says, we have to double down on the scout. This team is so well prepared every time they step out onto the court, and that is Jenny Boggess and her outstanding staff on the sidelines of the Monmouth bench.
And now a chance to get some of the reserves in. Those kids who work their tails off all season long. We'll take a quick timeout and talk about them after this. We will stay here instead, folks, with 1:18 to go. Just an incredible run for this team. And there's so many ties as well on this roster of winning. As you see the hugs. You know, Lucy Thomas, Jen Lauro, they just checked back in with Love and Marsicano. They all went to St. Rose High School in New Jersey. And at Monmouth's home building, they won a high school championship at St. Rose together. Now, coming to Monmouth, and with Coach Ginny Boggess in her second season, the hugs already beginning as that deep three falls for Nelson. From champions at the high school level to come to college with a program that last year, Monica, turned some things around, but now to transform conferences, that's not always easy.
It's definitely not. Coaches have talked about it all year. That last graphic that we had up showing 8 of 9 free throw shooting for Monmouth on this big run. They've knocked down big shots from the free throw line. They have taken advantage of opportunities. They have checked all the boxes that you need to check to be a championship team. They're just running down the shot clock right now, letting this game wear down. And Vanderhoop and Hall are going to come back in right now. So we're going to see a little bit more of these two outstanding players who have been massive today for the Monmouth Hawks.
Ariana Vanderhoop set the tone of this game with 17 points. Vanderhoop had 12 in the opening quarter. 4 players in double figures, 6 with at least 9. The hugging, the applauding of Selection Sunday. The Monmouth Hawks are partying like it's 1983 in their first year in the CAA.